Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I just wanted to share a very brief idea with you, something that I've been thinking a lot about over Pesach, especially during these times of isolation and social distancing. I think it allows one to take a step back and ponder on many thoughts and meditate on the meaning of life and why we do what we do and the meaning and purpose behind our daily grind. On the second night of Pesach, we began counting the Omer, also known as Sfiras Omer. Historically, the Jewish people have just left their life of slavery, which is why we celebrate Pesach, and they begin their journey into the desert, unsure of their exact destination. What they do know is that they are heading into a different life with a new identity, into a new world with greater meaning and freedom. Although they don't know quite what this entails just yet, they're nevertheless excited and they anticipate the moment when they can connect to Hashem, to godliness as a free people. So they begin counting the days of their journey, beginning from the day after they leave their previous life of slavery. And the count ends at the time just before they receive the Torah at Mount Sinai, or to be exact, the day before Shavuos. This count totals 49 days. Throughout the generations since then, we have always counted the Omer, commemorating this very first counting that we did as a people. The Omer, as we said, is a 49-day count and is sandwiched right in between our two biblical and major festivals known as Pesach and Shavuos. It's a mitzvah that we do. There's a very interesting question that arises that I've been thinking about since we started counting the second night of Pesach. Especially because we weren't even a nation yet. We began counting when we hadn't been commanded to count yet. We hadn't received the Torah. We hadn't accepted its precepts yet. We didn't even know what the Torah entailed. Yet we still counted as a foundational element of becoming a nation. This mitzvah was amongst a few other mitzvot that were given to us and that we observed on the brink of our nationhood. The other mitzvah given to us prior to the counting of the days was the mitzvah to count the months, or to count the cycle of the new moon. Both of these mitzvot that we were given concerned the concept of time, and both we observed on the cusp of our commitment to becoming a Jewish people, a Jewish nation. What's the message behind this? What can we learn from this? What practical inspiration can we take from this during this time? Allow me to share a very brief idea, something that I've been thinking about a bit. The practical element of this mitzvah is that every night after nightfall, we make a blessing on the counting of the Omer, and then we make a statement of what day it is. For example, we'd say today is day 1 of the Omer, or today is day 8 of the Omer, which is 1 day and 1 week of the Omer. So we're not just counting the days, we are counting the days as well as the weeks. And we do this over a 49-day period. There are many explanations that expound on this concept of the counting of the Omer. It's deeply rooted in our history as a people. We can invest many hours in discussing and learning about it, but I just want to share a very brief idea which I found very inspiring. At the core essence of who we are as a people and how we practice our Judaism is the value of time. This isn't merely an esoteric concept, for example, as we do from year to year. We take a stock take of our year that was on the new year. We do an assessment of it. We see where we were. We make a goal and a vision of where we want to be. Take on new goals. But literally, here we are counting the days and the weeks, not just the years. By giving us this mitzvah, Hashem wants us to take value and purpose from each day and each week that we have on this earth. He doesn't want it to be purposeless, without a goal or without a deeper vision, but rather the fact that we count our days and our weeks tells us that the true value of our life is when we do count our days, when we make our days purposeful, meaningful, valuable, and memorable. It's not enough to merely go through the daily grind, working, eating, relaxing, sleeping, having leisure time, although these things are of course extremely important to our physical and emotional well-being. But rather, the idea behind the counting of the Omer is to think and then act on how we can bring greater meaning and purpose into these daily actions. So much so that when we close up our day, when we say the Shema at night, when we go to sleep, the idea is we want to look back on our day and we want to be able to highlight the actions or the action that we did that day to bring greater meaning and purpose into the day. Now, it's a very nice esoteric concept, very inspirational concept, but you're probably thinking how much harder this is during the current pandemic that we find ourselves in, with social distancing and with isolation. How is it possible to really put this into practical action in this time period? COVID-19 cannot and will not stop us from bringing greater meaning into our days. This, where we find ourselves now, we have an opportunity to take a step back from the rat race in which we all find ourselves or have found ourselves in the recent past. Reassess our values, reprioritize, and start fresh. Right now, we are given an opportunity to connect more with those in our lives via a caring phone call or message, a conversation over a tea or coffee with someone in your household, reconnect with family members living abroad, express love and gratitude to our parents, a parent or a grandparent, call someone that you know might be lonely or feeling sad, or ask someone how you can help them during this time. It's also an opportunity for us to connect to ourselves and to our souls, which is the deepest part of us, and do what we call a cheshbon hanefesh, a reassessment of our life. Reprioritize. Think, what's really important? Who am I? Where do I stand? What do I want for my future? Perhaps more importantly, it's also an opportunity to connect with Hashem, with our source of life. Spend a few extra moments connecting to Hashem. Thank Hashem. Show gratitude. We have a siddur filled with hundreds of prayers. Pick one, learn one, say the Shema at night. Make an extra blessing over a piece of food, a piece of fruit that we eat. Light the Shabbos candles on time with a blessing. Cook a kosher meal. Put up a mezuzah in one of your rooms. Listen to a lecture on a Jewish topic. Or learn a new mitzvah. The list goes on. The point is that the counting of the Omer communicates a very strong message. At the end of the day, we want to look back and say, I made this day count. Wishing you blessings of good health, safety, success, happiness, and greater meaning and purpose in your life. Thanks for listening.